I'm Tom Nally. This is December 12th. It's a Sunday, December 12th, 2010. I'm making another beer video here. The main thing that I'm going to do in this video, or the last and final thing, is to taste barley malt extract straight from the can before it gets boiled or anything, just to describe what it's like. A little bit before that, I'm going to talk a little bit about hops, which is the flavoring material that is often put into beer. But first of all, I'm going to give you a rundown of all the equipment and materials that are needed to make beer in the simplified method. And really, everything that you see before you on this stove is it. If you're going to make it using a simplified technique, you don't need any more space than this, and you don't need any more ingredients or equipment than what you see right here. And I'll identify everything for you. This plastic container here is a fermenter. It'll hold probably a little bit more than 2.5 gallons of liquid, but typically you think the yield from that will be about 2 gallons of beer or so. This product right here is called One Step. It's a white powdery substance which I'm told is crystallized hydrogen peroxide, and it's used to sanitize all the equipment that you're using. Right now I have some One Step and water in my fermenter. Here's just a plate. It has some sanitizer on top of it mixed with water because I'm going to put mixing spoons and things like that. Here's some utensils in a cup of sanitizer. I have a steel spoon, a plastic spatula, and a can opener. This, of course, is my boiling pot right here. It's filled with sanitizer like everything else. This is the barley malt. It's made by a company called Muntons in the UK. It's going to produce beer that's amber colored, and there might be some ingredients besides barley in it. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I think they usually put other things in it. I'm also going to use 12 ounces of honey that I bought at the grocery store. This package right here is Nottingham ale yeast. Here is my hops right here, Amarillo hops, and this time I'm going to use bottled water from the grocery store. I don't normally do that. Most of the time I just use tap water, but today I decided to use bottled water. Okay, let me talk about the hops for a second. This is Amarillo hops. Hops comes from sort of a bushy type plant that produces a flower that hangs like a pendant, and you peel the leaves off the flower, and that's what the hops are. Amarillo is a particular variety of hops that one writer describes as this. The flavor profile of Amarillo hops is very citrusy, especially leaning toward a distinct orange flavor and aroma. I also find Amarillo to be somewhat sweet until it mellows out in a beer. This hop was reportedly discovered and introduced by Virgil Gamache Farms Incorporated, which I'm pretty sure is in Washington State, and resulted as a mutation of another hop variety. Here are some of the dozen or more beers that use Amarillo hops. Most of these in this list I have never heard of. Only one have I heard of, but here's 4 of them with interesting names. Three Floyd's Gumblehead, never had that one. Smutty Nose IPA, never had that one, probably never will. Flying Monkeys Hoptical Illusion, and Green Flash Hop Head Red Ale. Alright, so much for that. Here is what hops looks like. Green and leafy, at least this kind. You can buy it in pellet form, but I've been buying leaf hops because it seems to work good. They're dried out in light, and have quite an aroma. They're about as thin as tissue paper in their dried out form. This actually looks like the pendant flower that hangs from the hop plant. I might break that a little bit up before I put it in the sack. Once how this is introduced into the liquid that becomes beer is you put it into this sack right here, dump the whole package, and then put it in your pot while it is boiling with the malt and the honey and whatnot, and the flavor from the hops is infused into the liquid. But that's how hops are put into beer. Let me give you a little bit bigger picture. This looks like a single flower right here, and it probably hangs from the bush like that, and whether it's harvested by hand or machine or not, I don't know, but yeah, this is what hops look like. They're very thin, very light, and very aromatic. Okay. This is barley malt. It has the consistency of molasses, or a really thick syrup. It looks like syrup, and I don't know that I've tasted it before in the can, but I'm going to give it a taste right now. Let me show you what it looks like first. It's not so thick that I could hold it upside down, but it's very thick. Let's see. That's how thick it is. So let me give it a little bit of a taste. And whether I'll be able to describe it or not, I don't know. It's actually quite good. It tastes like a little bit like Steen's corn syrup, actually, and it's very good. I think I've had little taste of malt when it already has hops in it, and it's a little bit bitter. This is not bitter at all. It's a very intense flavor. If it was a little bit thinner, I might consider putting it on like a biscuit or something like that. But anyway, that's what barley malt looks like, the primary ingredient in beer. And that ends this video. Hope I didn't get any on my shirt. I'm Tom Nally. It's Sunday, December 12th, 2010, and this is ingredients and equipment for making beer.